Emmys as
But
well. Ugh.
yeah, that was a good time. That was
Yeah.
all. That was successful. I haven't done anything since. I've
Yeah. Yeah.
no productivity
I went down to Philly this past weekend.
for what?
Uh, just kind of a spur of the moment kind of thing. We just kind of family trip down to Philly. Then we just hit like the Franklin Institute. Before that, we hit a bar or a
Um,
brewery, and then just went out
hmm.
to eat. So it was a nice, like, chill kind of evening. The only issue was we went out Saturday, which was kind of hot out, kind of
Oh, dude, it's
grossly, kind of,
hot.
yeah. So it was one of those things where it would have been nice, like, to walk around the city or whatever, but because it was so hot out, it just made it kind of a little more miserable. So we waited a little bit
Mm.
longer to go down. So
Yeah,
reservation was at for the restaurant was like 5 or something like that. So we just kind of went down a little early, like an hour or so beforehand. Went to your brewery, had a drink or two, and then went off to the restaurant. I
yeah.
will say that
Bro,
restaurant
when
was
it gets
also
hot
probably
out
one.
in Philly, it gets hot. Like it
Oh,
gets
it
hot.
does. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's yesterday was actually pretty nice out, so we just kind of hung out poolside. We got like 2 weekends left with the pool open, so taking as
Yesterday
much
was hot
advantage as
too.
possible.
Yesterday was hot. My
It was
friends and I, we
hot.
went on a walk and then went to a bar afterwards. And we were sat outside because they were doing a brunch till 2. And I got back from that and it felt like I sat in the sun for 8 hours. Like I was so tired. And
Gotcha.
I took a 2 hour nap. Just passed the
There you
fuck
go.
out.
There you go.
But yeah, no, that
Mm,
was,
I thought it
yeah,
felt
it's
pretty
just super
nice.
hot. It hasn't been that bad recently, actually.
No, the weekend was the
Just
only
like
time
the
it really
past few
got hot
days.
out.
What?
Or like the week over the weekend was really hot out. Before that was kind of
Yeah.
cooler, and I think it's supposed to get cooler again.
Yeah, it's been like the low 80s. And then like I think yesterday was like in the 90s or
Yeah,
high 80s or something. It
yeah.
was just hot.
It was cold because their pool temperatures are like 81 degrees, and usually before like a week or two before, it was at like mid to high 80s
Mhm.
because it was so hot out.
Yeah, it's just like, see, I don't mind that when it's like when you're going out somewhere, but if you're just at home, like, this sucks. This
Yeah.
actually sucks.
Yes.
Like you're just sweating. Like I remember going to Philly one time, like a year ago we were doing something for a friend's engagement. We went to this restaurant and there's like 15 of us. And you would have thought it was like 120 degrees. Like it was so hot. And they even had like an overhang for like people sitting outside and like fans going. It didn't do
It didn't do
anything.
anything. Was it
I
one of
was
those
so
breezes that were just breathing hot air? It wasn't even cool air.
I was just hot. Like I
Yeah.
was just hot and miserable because it was a fun time. I was just so hot. Like,
Right.
and I that day was really bad because we walked. Someone was walked from that bar, that restaurant to Morgan's Pier, which is like a mile and a half, two
Yeah.
mile walk. It was like 95 degrees outside,
Mm,
just straight humidity, straight heat. So it probably felt like 102.
right.
And I had like no like I had no sweat left. Like I was so dehydrated. Like, but the thing
Hmm.
is, all I was drinking was mimosas. I wasn't drinking
Of
water.
course.
So I was like, oh, this is good. This is good. I'm thirsty, so I'm gonna drink this. And so I was just pounding back
Yeah.
mimosas,
It's gonna
not
keep me
thinking I
hydrated.
didn't have to. Yeah, it's keep me hydrated.
Yeah.
And then I threw like just a black vial supposedly like in front of like a family and like in some parking lot. And
Nice.
the family's like, my buddy and I were walking, and I'm just like just hurling like this, basically just nothing's in my system.
Yeah.
And the mom of the family, she's like, "Honeys, are you okay?" And as I'm like leaned over, like hands on knees, just like puking my brains out.
It's fine over
And
here.
the
I'm
dad,
just, yeah.
yeah, and she's like, "Do you guys need water?" And my friend's like, "Yes, yes, we do." She's like, "Where are you guys coming from?" Like, we're at the restaurant, and we told her what restaurant, and she's like, "That's like 2 miles." We're like, "Yeah, we know. We just walked it.
Yeah.
We were well aware of how far it was." And the dad is just looking at us because they have two kids, two
Yeah.
small kids. And the dad's just like, "Y'all are menaces. Y'all are crazy." And I'm like, "All right, I'm good. Let's go. Let's go get
Yeah.
around." And the dad's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, we're good."
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, I
I've
had to
had
kick out
worse.
the
Yeah.
I was like, I had to kick out the demons. We're good now. And he's like, and the mom's like, "Drink the water first." And I'm like, "Okay." That seems fair.
Yeah, I'll get some at the bar.
But that was just so funny. But that was hot. Like that's so going back to the heat. It's like
Yeah.
once you're hot, there's just no going back.
No.
That's why when I go out to places like that, when we did that, I wore like a really like thin, basically like a beach like shirt. You could something
The
wear to
beach
a
shirt.
beach.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like a beach shirt. It's just like it was like a really thin button down, like short
Hmm.
sleeve button down
Right.
that you would wear at like resort or whatever. So it was nice enough to wear wherever I wanted to, or get into bars that I wanted to. It was nice enough for that, but it still did absolutely nothing. I was like, this sucks.